What's going on? What's going on? Your boy Bobby from MentorMe.com. Talking about financial literacy, talking about life. Today we're going to be talking about two things that schools don't teach you. I'm gonna let a couple of you, of course, get on this live and tune in and really get this great, valuable information. As you guys know, I'm always gonna talk about wealth, life, my experiences. Today we're gonna talk about two things schools don't teach you. And I think this is very important because adults, young kids, go through a lot of things, and life don't really give us time to understand these two things. And if nobody's there to teach it to you, if you're not mature enough to understand it, and everybody has different levels of maturity, you're going to go through life struggling. You're going to go through life with a lot of complaints. You're going to go through life thinking life is sometimes against you. The two things that schools don't teach you, and that's so important to life, is one, how to balance life, and two, how to make strategic decisions in life. Many adults today, they're struggling mentally for both of these reasons. Bad decisions, bad choices, bills are holding them down. And you got to really think about it. While you're going through life, getting older, nobody really teaches you, how does life really work when you become an adult? Is it just about going to work and paying bills? Is it about going to work, paying bills, making sure you're mentally balanced, making sure you're enjoying life, making sure you're taking care of yourself, being there for other people? What is life really about when you get older? Nobody really teaches you. How do you balance everything from bills, school, decision making, jealous people, parents who want to use you, friends who want to use you, life decisions, everyday decisions, personal goals, yearly goals? How do you deal with all these things? When you put all these things in a pot, from bills, from decision making, from being mature, to going through maturity, to understanding that life doesn't stop, even if you do, meaning if you pass away. A lot of us are not taught life. And this is something you got to really understand. Nobody really teaches you how to balance life. A lot of us just think life is simply this: go to school, if you went to school, or go get a trade. You go work for somebody, if that's the case, or that's the option or the route you take. Go to work, take care of your kids, go home. But what you guys start realizing is, and some of you add up one more destination, you go to church. But as you get older, you start realizing there's more parts to life other than just going to church, paying bills, going to work, taking care of your kids. Bills are not stopping. Every day you wake up, you have to make decisions. Nobody really teaches you how to make the best decision for you and if you have a family. Nobody teaches you how do you deal with life when things are not going good. See, there's a lot of imbalances with life that nobody really teaches you, but you have to learn through maturity and experiences how to balance. One of the biggest reasons I believe that mental health is such a big issue, other than, of course, the intrinsic components of it, when people go through hard times financially, mentally, spiritually, nobody really taught them, okay, what's your output? What's your options of your output? If I'm going through hard times right now, life is not going well, the whole month or the whole year has been a bad year by theory, how do I turn that negative into a positive? Nobody talks about that. It's important to understand, I always tell people, stay positive with everything that you have going on. Because whatever you think is a bad day or a bad year, somebody always has it 10 times worse than you. I watch a lot of videos from YouTube to social media to just dealing with people on everyday one-on-one appointments and webinars and shows that I do. And I get to see the commonality of people and what's their issues. And one of them I see is that when life gets rough, they don't know how to balance life. This is why I always say you got to have certain things in order, especially when it comes to the financial world of your life. As grown adults, we shouldn't be talking about credit anymore. At a certain age, you should know you need credit. At a certain age, you should know you need savings. At a certain age, you should know if your job don't pay you enough, you need to figure out what's your next option. Either get a higher paying job or add another skill to bring another stream of income to your home. Because the reality is some of these companies, they're going to keep paying you the same thing. And you're going to keep getting yourself upset because your life is not changing. Your bills are not being paid. You feel that you're struggling. You feel that you're not growing. Then you go into this world, this term that they use in this world called depression. Now you're depressed because life is not going as planned. Not realizing you don't control that factor, the man above does. See, that's why I always say, too, no matter what you're going through in life, it's important to have a balance, and you need to have an output of excitement. Because a lot of us, all we know how to do is go to work, probably pay bills. Some of us probably make money. But is your life really balanced? See, a lot of us, you can have a lot of money, you don't have friends. You can have no money, but you're a very intelligent person. You can have several degrees and you're financially struggling. You could be a great person, but you're not the funnest person to be around, so people don't want to hang with you. They find you, as they call it in this world today, you lame. See, the problem is, as you're living a life of being imbalanced, where you don't have everything balanced, and there's no way to have everything balanced, you start to feel unaccepted. You start to feel like you're not growing. You start to feel like life is not going in the way that you planned. Because nobody teaches you, your parents don't teach you, how do you balance life? Bills, friends, stress, spiritual world. How do you balance all of this? Decision making. When you look at life, a lot of the negatives that people go through is their decision making habits. Decisions you make determine how you live, determine what you go through in life. But a lot of us, when I talk, how do you make the right decision in life? Are you making it based on emotion or reality? That's number one. And this is a real big problem in our world, because this is why this term depression becomes such an exciting word to say nowadays. People are depressed. I don't think a lot of people are just depressed. They're imbalanced. Because when times get rough, they were never taught how to deal with rough times of life. When it's financially rough times, when it's emotionally rough times, and it could be male or female. When you're going through rough times emotionally, who do you talk to? Who ever talked to you about this particular subject? Nobody. When you're financially struggling, who do you talk to? Sometimes you could talk to your friends, and then some of them are going to just talk bad about you. And then you start to feel that emotional trait. You start to feel you made a bad decision by telling your friends you're going through hard times. One of the biggest things I see with life is that balancing life is not easy. Because when you wake up as a grown adult, there's so many things you have to think about. Bills, decisions, people and their habits, your kids and their habits, going to work to make sure that you, of course, are doing the best you can. Making sure financially you're stable for you and your family. Making sure when you make a decision, did it make sense for you and your family, or just did it make sense for you? And then when you grow and get a partner, it gets worse. Because now you got to deal with that person's emotion, that person's decisions, and their perspectives of life. Nobody really teaches you, are you doing this right or wrong? Is there a right way of teaching a person how to balance life? Believe it or not, there's a lot of aspects in life that we all need. You can have all the money in the world, but everybody hates you. You can have all the BBL you think you got. I get it. But you're still getting the wrong men to approach you. You could be in the gym all day, six-pack. But a lot of women find you annoying. See, there's always going to be an imbalance somewhere. And then that's why I feel there's such a growth in depression. Depression, I believe, derived from emotion. And a lot of us, we're not in control of our emotion, and it's not easy. Because when you're dealing with life, when you wake up, from the time you make breakfast, you have a decision to make. What are you eating? You got bills that's piling up every 30 days. You have friends talking behind your back. You got friends trying to use you. You got family that don't come together anymore. Things are changing. You got a lot of single parents living lives of making decisions for themselves and their children. And in their mind, it's always right. Until somebody comes and tell them what you're doing don't make sense. You got a lot of people right now, there's no spiritual aspect of life, no matter whatever spiritual aspect it is to you. I'm not going to sit up here acting like my pastor and tell you, look, you need to go to church. No. Whatever spiritual aspect, you need a place of peace. Because I'm going to tell you something, no matter how successful you are, or no matter how broke you may think you are, there's always somebody going through something worse than you. So before you think about jumping off of a building, before you think about shooting yourself, before you think about doing something that emotionally doesn't make sense, because I think that's the biggest part a lot of people can't separate. When you're trying to balance life, you have to make decisions based on reality, not emotions. And I think that's what hurts a lot of people. When they make decisions, everything is based on emotion. This is what I felt at the moment. It just made sense to me to emotionally do this. Because right now, we got to realize this too. I got a call this morning. We're getting older, people. Got people who run into 45, 43s, 39s, 42s. No plan of retirement. Some people don't even have a vehicle. No car to drive. No stable job. At a certain point of life, you can't keep playing a blame game. I'm going to blame somebody else. You got to start to learn life is going to keep moving with you or without you. The question is, how do you catch up? And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. You got to learn that life has a lot of obstacles. You're going to go through hard times. I'm human. I go through hard times. I lose money. I go through stress. I sometimes have to control my emotions. It's not easy, people. But you got to understand it's so important when you're going through hard times to stay focused and stay balanced. And you do that by first, when you're making a decision, never make decisions based on emotion. Whenever you're making a decision, make decisions based on the reality of what it is and what's going to make the best sense for you long term. Number 2, stop telling anybody and everybody your negatives of life. When you're going through bad times, everybody is not going to be there for you. And you need to understand that very clear. You need to go to people who have maturity, great wisdom to, of course, give you feedback based on what you're talking about or whatever it is that you want to discuss. Some of you have this bad habit, love to tell everybody when you're going through hard times. 99% of them don't care. You have to start to learn, if you're going to talk to somebody about bad times you're going through, sometimes even good times, you need to talk to people who are mature enough to understand not to be biased and give you real feedback, no matter what it makes you feel like. Because a lot of you, this is the biggest problem you go through. When you're going through hard times of life, you love to talk to everybody. And some of those people in that everybody circle you're talking to don't care. And they're going to just go talk bad about you, go gossip. At the end of the day, that's not helping you with your situation. I understand, too, a lot of us, we have problems when it comes to making a decision. See, decisions, you got to really start to look at it like this. Yes, we get it. Is it based on reality or emotion? That's one. It needs to be based on reality of your life and where you see yourself a couple years from now if you make this decision. Number 2, you need to have a person you can talk to that you trust. Number 3, when you're making a decision, does it make the best sense? Ask yourself three reasons how it makes the best sense. Because a lot of you go into that emotional state of mind, you quickly just, okay, I'm going to just go with this. No. Ask yourself 2-3 different ways. Hold on. Yeah. Let me give myself 3 reasons why or 4 reasons why this decision I'm about to make makes the most sense. Because if you don't start making better decisions, if you don't start balancing life don't mean you're chasing the bag, people. I have a lot of people that I know that have a lot of money. They're not happy. A lot of you see social media, you're getting fooled by that life. You're chasing the bag. A lot of people got a bag and they're still miserable. A lot of people are not happy with their real life. It looks so good on social media. For a lot of people, I'm telling you, I deal with grown adults a lot. It's not true. People are struggling, and the struggle that they're having is within themselves. One is they have sometimes partners they're scared to talk to. And I get it. Sometimes you can't talk to certain partners because they're very difficult. Anytime you talk to them, it's always personal or there's no accountability. So from that moment, you go into a point, well, I don't want to talk to people. But there has to be an area of an outlet you have when you're going through things of life, people. This is why mental stress, mental health, depression, when you put that all in one bowl, it's filling up that bowl nowadays. Because a lot of us, we don't have a balance. Go to work, wake up, go to work, take care of your kids if you have kids. Recycle that same cycle for life. When do you have fun? When did you take a break? Where's your area of peace? Are you doing good deeds? People, all these things make a difference in how you live your life. I'm telling you, for a lot of you that don't understand, how come you're not seeing the next stage of your life? It's not just financial. A lot of you need to take a self-reflection moment of your life. And if you realize what I'm trying to say, and you take a self-reflection moment of your life, you will see that your life is not balanced. A lot of you don't realize how far off your balance is. All some of you can say is, I go to work, I pay bills, I go to sleep. Can you truthfully say you're always happy? Can you truthfully say for the whole month of, August, were you happy? Are you happy with how your life is going? Some people can't find a relationship partner, can't understand why. You're not balanced. Some people are in a relationship with a terrible relationship partner, and they've been in that toxic situation for years. Don't know why they can't leave, because you're not balanced. If you were balanced, you would know it makes more sense, not emotionally, in the reality, to leave that person. Just like in business. You made a bad investment, some of you get scared. You never invest again. So you're telling me you're going to go to work, never invest, have your money in a savings account, and believe life is just going to be perfectly fine. You're going to one day retire magically with just a savings account. People, you got to stop lying to yourself. You're not balanced. We all make mistakes. We all go through hard times. We all have ups and downs. What makes you stronger is how you deal with life. What makes you strong is also the decision-making capabilities you carry when you're going through hard times of life. And if you make the right decision, you will see eventually life gets better. And you will overcome whatever you're going through in life. So stop holding yourself accountable with negativity that you need to let go and leave behind so you can move forward. And start learning that life is all about balance. You can't just be about work, 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 work. There are so many people, all they think about is business, 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 business. Never have fun. Because one thing you got to understand, your calling is going to be one day. One day you're not going to be here. And there's no way to say, I changed my mind. It's too late. Your time is up. Something I thought I'd share with you guys, because grown adults today, economy is not good. The economy is very expensive. Inflation is very high. Stock market is down. Crypto market is down. Real estate is not at an all-time high, but it's very expensive right now for real estate because there's a shortage of homes. Right now, a lot of people are starting to feel like they're not moving. They're not growing. And it's all because of emotions. This is why I always say emotions can mislead you. What you got to also start looking at, too, is people stay positive with whatever you're going through. Always ask yourself, you know what? I woke up this morning, and I woke up very well. I was able to eat lunch. I was able to eat breakfast. I was able to do what others can't do in other countries and other cities. Because these things are so valuable as you're living every day. Life is not just about going to work, paying bills. Life has more value than that. You got to be balanced. You got to also learn how to live your life and enjoy life for the moment. Because some of you, you're going through so much stress. You're stressed. You know it. I may not know it. You don't have nobody to talk to when life gets rough. Some of you have done people wrong in your past. You never, ever said sorry. See, these are things you got to start to let go and mature about and say, hold on, you know what? I did this person wrong. I'm going to call them back and apologize. Because you know what's crazy in life? Sometimes the person you think dislikes you the most becomes your best friend. Becomes the most trustworthy person in life. Some of you are holding on to grudges. 10 years of your life, you're holding on to something that's so petty. And you wonder why you're stressing. You wonder why you're saying you're going through depression. It's only there because you're holding on to emotion. That's why I say if you don't know how to balance your life when it comes to your emotion, when it comes to making decisions in life, when it comes to the type of people you hang with, hanging around with positive friends, people, them negative friends that's not growing, I've been telling you guys for almost 6 years, let them go. Jealous friends, distance yourself or let them go. But one thing you guys got to understand, as you get older, you got to ask yourself a question. It's not just about money. Are you happy? Are you at peace? Can you honestly say you love yourself and love where you're at in life? And if the answer to that question is yes, you are blessed. May God be with you guys. May God bless. You guys enjoy. It's 4 o'clock. I got to go trade some stocks real quick to finish up the day. But I thought I'd share this journey because millions of Americans are going through pain. Social media misguides us, makes us believe everything's okay because we see material things such as trucks, cars, jewelry. The reality is when you go through the hard times of life, nobody's really there to teach you how do you go through with life. How do you go through the hard times? How do you solve that problem? One of the things I always want to tell you guys, you got to learn to make decisions based on reality, not emotions. You got to learn to love yourself enough to say, you know what? This decision I'm making, I'm going to make sure it makes enough decision to hold me up long term, not short term. If you got toxic people in your life, if it's a relationship partner, if it's friends, learn in life. If you're a mature person in your balance, it's okay to let that person go and move forward with your life. Sometimes you got to move to a whole different area sometimes just to get away from negativity that's holding you back. And it's okay. Stop letting people make you feel that, hey, go that emotional word again. Make you feel it's not right. At a certain point in your life, you shouldn't be living with negativity. You should be thankful that you're alive, you're breathing, you're healthy, you got a job, you got friends, you got loved ones, you got healthy kids. But in this world today, when you look at social media, it really shows an imbalance. Oh my God, I got money, so I have everything. Is it really that simple? Do you know how many multi-millionaires, do you know how many millionaires, do you know how many billionaires are miserable? They're miserable with money. But you don't get to see that because you're only watching a 1 second, a 1 minute clip on TikTok. You're only watching a 1 minute clip on Instagram. So you start to believe everybody's life is perfect. And it's sad. People in life, you got to understand, how you balance life makes a big difference to the healthiness of how you grow your life. Making the right decisions, hanging with the right people, loving yourself is so important. Because if you continuously live in this world being imbalanced, only focused on money, money, money. This is the world today. If you drive a fancy car, you make money, you're a great person. That is not true. This is why a lot of us are so imbalanced. A lot of us don't even take time out for ourselves. No matter if you have kids or not, you got to take time out for you. Do you take an hour out just to breathe? Self-reflection, am I okay? It's so important. Because a lot of us were always only focused on material things, bills. We're never focused on the reality of life, loving yourself. Love is free. And we don't see too many videos on love and affection and just the reality of where the world should be. This world is missing a lot of love and a lot of peace. One thing I could tell you guys, if you want to be great, if you want to be the best you, schools don't teach what I'm talking about in this video. You need to be balanced with life. You need to be balanced with yourself. And you need to make the best decisions you can every time you have to make a decision. From what you eat, from the friends you hang with, from the bills you pay, from the neighborhood you live in, from the schools you put your kids in. You need to make the best decision for you and your family long term. This is your boy Bob from MentorMe.com. You guys enjoy. Peace.